In this video, we are going to learn about Entity Framework Core. It is not an in-depth tutorial, but I have covered all the essential topics. Hey there everyone, it's Ravindra Devrani. So let's get started without any delay. First of all, we will talk about what is Entity Framework Core. And Entity Framework Core is a cross-platform and open source version of Entity Framework. It is an object relational mapper which allows us to interact with database using objects without writing any SQL queries. Now we will discuss some more terms related to Entity Framework Core. First one is model. Model is a class that is going to save in a database. Now we will talk about what is database context class or what is DbContext class. It is a core of Entity Framework. It is used to interact with database. Because of DbContext, we are able to perform insert, update, delete, and querying of data. Now we will discuss the last term, which is DbSet, and DbSet represents the table of your database. You can create and access the entity with the help of DbSet. Now let's understand these terms with some coding examples. So let's start with creating a new project. Right here, click on Visual Studio icon, create a new project, and select this ASP.NET Core Web App MVC template, and you can also search it here. So type here like something MVC here, ASP.NET Core Web App MVC. Click on next and let's name it EF Core Tutorial. Click on next and .NET 6.0. Yeah, let's create it. So we have created a project. So let us start some initial settings, and for that we will open this application setting.json, and here we will define a connection string. So here write connection string and let's name it con, and here data source equals to dot, and it is the name of our database, comma initial catalog, sorry, dot is the instance of our SQL server and initial catalog is the name of database. So let's name it same EF Core Tutorial. Integrated security, it means we do not need username or password for login, so we are defining integrated security equals to true. Okay, I guess it's fine, and let's close it. Let's see what we can do. Now we will create a folder and let's name it domain, and here we will define our database classes. So let's name it domain, and now let's create a class, and it is going to be our DbContext class. So let's name it database context add. Now we need to install some packages because we are going to use Entity Framework Core. So here click on tools, then NuGet package manager and manage package for solution. So here let's browse Entity Framework core.SQL server. One package we need, and it is this one. So let's change it because we are using Entity Framework 6 in this project. Click on accept, and now let's install another package and name it .tool. Let's see, yes, tools. So here click on install and it will ask for the permission. I will accept that. Let's see. Okay, it is not asking for permission. It's okay. And I'm gonna decline it because I have accidentally selected 7.0 and I'm not gonna select that. We have to select this 6.0 version. Okay, now accept it and wait for a moment. Okay, installation of package has done, so let's close this window, and sorry, not window, it was a tab. Okay, by the way, let's see what we can do now. Now let's move to this program.cs file and open this database context class. And here, first of all, we will inherit DbContext class. Click on using Microsoft.Entity Framework Core. Now right here CTOR, double tap, and it will create a constructor for you. Here we will use the base constructor, and let's see what it is asking for us. It is asking please pass me DbContext options. So here we will create instance for it, DbContext options. I think it was database context and I forget about it, what it was. Database context. Let's see here what it is asking. It is asking DbContext options. Okay, so we will write here DbContext options, and it will be the type of our class. Let's pass database context and write here OPTS and pass this OPTS here. I guess it's fine. Okay, now let's move to this program.cs class and we will do some configuration here. Builder.services dot add something like that, add DbContext, and let's pass OPTS equals to OPTS dot use SQL server, use SQL server, and press control dot here. Okay, it is, I think we have to pass here database context class, and let's see. Yeah, we are able to find using Microsoft Entity Framework Core, and inside this let's see what it's asking to us. So yeah, it is asking us for a connection string. So how can we find this connection string? Let's see where connection string equal to builder dot configuration dot connection get connection string, and name of our connection string, that was CONN, and let's pass this const here. I guess it's fine. So okay, now let's add a class here. So we are going to create a new class. Let's name it category.cs. Let's define some properties quickly. First one will be ID, the next one will be a string name, that's it, and let's add it here. So we're gonna add DbSet DbSet and the name of our class, and it is the name of entity, and with this name category, with this name it is going to create a table in database. If you write this, then it will create a table with name categories. So choose this name carefully. I'm gonna save it with the name category, and this DbSet is gonna save your table in the database. You have to define these DbSets here if you want to save those classes into database. So now what we will do, we will run migration commands. So click here in the tools, NuGet package manager console, and here write add migration. Name of migration will be init, and click enter, and now it will create a file named migration, and it is our migration file. It is saying that we are going to add this category table into database. So that's it, and let's save these changes into database. So right here, update database. Okay, and changes have been done to the database. So let's close this database context class. We can check it into our SQL Server database. So here it is our database EF core tutorial, and we have created one table which was category, and it has only two columns, ID and name, and ID was primary key, and it is generated by default as a primary key. If you define a name ID there, it is going to be saved as a primary key. Okay, and this ID is also auto incremented. It means you do not have to store any value inside it. So let's see how is it working, and let's enter some values to it. Okay, so here add category 1, category 2, and you can see it is generating automatically with the incrementation of 1. Let it close for now, and let's open category.cs class again, and we can change the name of column from here. So right here column, and inside here name equals to, let's change it to category name. Okay, and it's not a name, just remove it, and that's it. Now the name of this column will be changed into category name. So we are not gonna mess this table. Let's create a new table. Here add a new table and name it product. So it will be product.cs. So let's define here ID and product name, just okay, product name, and here we will define decimal cost int category ID. We can change its name like the previous one. So here define a column and change its name to category ID, category underscore ID. We can also define the data type of our columns. So just write here column type name, and let's define it and varchar 100. Okay, and we can also define the max length property, min length property. Let's define its min length to, let's say, our product name should not be less than 5 characters. We can also add a required property here. Now this product name cannot be null. We can also add precision here. So right here column type name equals to decimal and decimal 5,2. Now we have added precision to the 2 point for our cost column. Now let's run the migration command because we want these changes into database. So click here into package manager console, type add migration mig, let's name it migration 2, and after that we will update our database. It will take a while. Okay, and we are not seeing any changes here because we did not have right here defined here our DbSet property. So we will define our DbSet property here, product. Okay, and now let's run this command again. So let's change it to mig3 and let's see what happens. Yeah, and it is our migration 3. So here what it is doing, we are adding a table named product into our database. And okay, now let's run the update database command and we will check into our SQL Server database. So right here update database. Okay, and database has updated. So I'm gonna open SQL Server so that we can see the changes there. So it is our database, and here it is our product table which we had recently added, and there are our columns. Let's see. Yeah, it is n varchar 100 and also not null because we had defined required property there, and it is our cost with decimal 5,2. It is also non-nullable, and here is our category ID because we had changed name to category ID, but we have defined here category ID. So yeah, all the changes has reflected to database. We have make sure that. So let's move back to the Visual Studio. Now let's talk about the naming convention for adding primary keys. So for that we are gonna add another table. So let's name it genre, and here, okay, I'm just gonna copy it from here. So just copy and paste here. It is what we can say, number one, we can add keys just by writing ID, and it will automatically create a ID field in the database, and that field will be primary key. But we can also add it like the table name, which is genre in this case, and an ID field. So it is our second method to create a primary key. Now we have another method for it, and let's say suppose we want to add anything like that. Let's see, suppose we have a property name public string genre code and we want to make it as a primary key. So we will just write here key and it will be added as a primary key. So let's see, is it happening or not? For that we have to run migration command. By the way, it is not a good practice, but I am just teaching you guys. We can also do it like that. You always have to use these two methods, either one of these methods. Either you will create with simple ID or you will create it with table name and ID. So let's add it into our database. For that we have to create a DbSet property. Let's name it genre and rename it to genres. Okay, and here let's define table. So name genre, that's it. And we can also add the name of our table like that. I'm just showing you, and we are not gonna do it right now. Right now we are gonna add a migration file, so we have to run a migration command right here, and let's name it to mig4. Okay, and it is saying that we are going to add a genres table into database, and it have a primary key name genre code. Okay, let's check it in our SQL Server database so that you can make sure it is actually happening. Okay, I'm going to close this tab for now. We do not need it. And let's refresh our SQL Server here, and yeah, it has added a table which have a primary key, and it have this genre code which is an varchar type, and it is also a primary key. Okay, and now let's see how to remove table from database. So we are going to delete this table from the database. For that we just have to remove this line from here, and let's see what would happen. For that, okay, and let's uncomment this. Let's comment this line. Okay, now we will run the migration command. Yeah, so it will be migration 5. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, and it is saying that migration builder dot drop table genre table. It means it is going to drop table from the database. So let's check it with update database command. Okay, and let's see what happened here. So just refresh our table here. Yeah, it has removed it from database. Okay, now we also have removed the table from the database. Now till now we have seen how to add tables to the database and how to remove table from the database. Now we will perform some basic operations to these tables. So for that we are going to move to this controller section and we are going to create a new controller. Let's name it to category controller. So let's name it category controller. Okay, and open this program.cs file and let's change it from home to category. So our default page will be category/index. Now let's define a constructor here. So type CTOR, double tap, it will create a constructor and define a read-only private property, private read-only database context, and we are going to create an object of our database context class. So let's name it CTX. We will keep it short and copy it. Let's name it underscore CTX so that we can distinguish these two. Okay, and right here type CTX equal to CTX. Okay, so let's perform the add operation and we are going to change it to add. Also we are going to change it here, it will be add. Okay, so let's see how to perform an add operation to our database entity. For that we are going to create an object of a category, new category, and we will provide a name to it, so it will be category 1. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So right here ctx dot category dot add category. That's it. And to reflecting changes to the database, we have to write ctx.save changes. Without it, changes will not reflect to the database. So I'm just going to write here for reflecting changes to the database. So it is our write operation, and let's see. Okay, we have to close it for now because we haven't defined a view and we are not going to define it. We are just gonna pass content okay from there. So now we will run it. Okay, as you can see here we are getting okay. It means we have added it to the database. So let's see here inside this category table, we will check it out. And yeah, we have added a category. We already have some records there, so let's remove them. So we are just gonna write delete from category, and we will select this database. We can just write here use ef core tutorial, which is the name of our database. So it will select a database. Now let's delete it and let's see what is happening. Now we do not have any data, so just refresh this page and let's see what is happening. Okay, now we have added a category 1. That's it, and let's close this tab for now. Okay, now what we will do, we will update this category. So it is category 1, and let's see what we can do now. Now let's add multiple methods. So I'm gonna just copy it and let's name it get by id. Just pass int id here, and yeah, let's see how we can find a record from the database. It is very simple. Right here, where category equals to ctx dot our table name, which is category dot find. Pass id to it, and that's fine. Okay, and let's return this content as a JSON. That's it. Now we will find the multiple categories. Okay, and before that we are gonna add some more categories here. So let's see, let's add clothes, and let's see accessories, and what we can add more. Okay, let's see shoes, or what we can add. Okay, let's add some random name like category 4. Okay, and let's see, we will get all the records from the database with this query. So here we will just write ctx.category.toList. Let's rename it to categories. Now it will return the list of the category. Okay, now let's see what we can do. Now we are gonna delete a category. So let's, okay, first of all we will find that category. If category equals to null, then return content error. Otherwise ctx dot category dot remove category, and do not forget to save changes to the database. And we always have to use try catch whenever we are trying to save data into database. Try catch exception ex and return content ex dot message. That's it, and it is our delete method. So here we will return content deleted. Okay, and we are also using try catch block here. So just write here try, let's pass is saved successfully, catch exception ex, return content ex dot message. Okay, and that was the add. So it is our add method. It is get by id, get all, delete, and we need one more method which will be update. So here, how to update, how will we update? So just copy this method, paste it here, and let's rename it to update. Okay, and in the case of update, we need an id, and let us say we are gonna update this category 4, sorry, category number 4 which have id 8. Now we are gonna update this from category 4 to category 8. Okay, and we will change from add to update. Okay, let's see how everything is going. So just changing it from to IIS Express. So let's see what happens, and I do not need it. So our default method has been run, and it is our default method, so it has added a category 1 again. We can see it here. Let's see. Yeah, here it has added a new category which is category 1. Okay, now let's see what we can do. Okay, let's find this method. So type here category slash, okay, first of all we will get all the categories from the database. So here the list of all the categories: category 1 clothes, accessories, shoes, category 4 and category 1. So let's update this category 8, and we have written a method for that. So let's just run update method here. Saved successfully, and let's see. Yeah, now id equals to 8 and category name has changed to category 8. We can see it here also. So just run it, and you can see our category 4 is converted to category 8 now. Okay, now let's try to delete this 9th record. For that we are gonna write delete 9. Let's see, is it deleted or not? Yeah, it is deleted. Now we have checked all the operations related to database, not all but all necessary operations. Now we will talk about the relations. It is very essential topic in our SQL server, and we are going to implement it with the entity framework core. For that we need some tables. So let's add some tables. Here let's add a table name. Sorry, it's not a table, it's a class. So let's add a new class. Let's name it student, and add prop double tab id string name string phone number. That's it, and we will add another table which will be, let's see what it can be, student address. id, and here string address city, state. Now we are going to add one-to-one relationship between these two tables. So right here, public student address student get set. Sorry, it is student address, and inside student address write public string student, not student address, just student. Okay, and we will also see one more property which is not mapped. So just write here public string not mapped column get set, and it is not going to mapped into database. Just write here not mapped. I forgot to mention about it, so I am defining it right now. Okay, I think that is not a problem. Okay, let's talk about the one-to-one relationship right now. It just popped up in my mind, so I have told you guys. Okay, and it will be a student. Now we have defined a one-to-one relationship between these two tables, and we are going to cross-check it in the database. For that, we are going to open package manager console, and we are going to add migration command for that. Okay, and let's update database. Okay, I have forgot to add DbSet, so it is not going to reflect into database until we have defined our DbSet here. So right here student before, yeah, student and student address. So let's add this migration command again. We do not need this sixth one. Okay, it has thrown an error. Dependent site could not be determined for one-to-one relationship between student address and student address dot student. Okay, let's see what happened here. Student address, we have defined student here. Inside student, we have defined student address. So let's add a foreign key here, and the naming convention for foreign key is foreign key is parent table name and ID. So in this case it is our foreign key. Let's see it works or not. So just add a migration command here. Okay, and it is again throwing an error. To avoid this situation, we have to write some Fluent API code. For that, we are gonna move here, right here, public on model creating something like that. I'm just forgetting. On model creating, and yeah, it is not public, it is protected. Override on model creating, and its return type will be void. Okay, and yeah, on model creating, it will take an argument model builder and we will write here model builder. Let's name it model builder. So here, okay, builder was also fine. I'm getting confused with naming. Builder dot entity, the name of the entity, which is student, not student, student comma has one so a dot has one student address comma with one student has foreign key, and let's see, student address a dot student, and what was foreign key here? Okay, we had defined it into a wrong table, so we are gonna move it from here to here. Okay, dot student ID, let's see it's working fine or not. So we are just gonna add migration command. Let's see. Yeah, finally we have no error. So let's see what this migration file is saying. It is saying I'm gonna add a student table with ID, name and phone number field. It have a primary key ID, and here we are gonna add another table, student address, and which have these field, and it have a foreign key constraint, student ID, principal table is student, principal column is ID. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now let's run this update database command, and we will check it into database. So let's open the SQL server and let's see what is happening here. Okay, just close these tabs for now and just refresh this table. So we have added two tables, student address, and it have these columns ID, name, phone number, and ID is primary key, and student is our principal table, student address, and it have these columns ID, address, city, state, and student ID. Student ID is foreign key. So that was our one-to-one relationship. Now we will talk about one-to-many relationship. So let's explain it with example only. Okay, and for that we are gonna add some more tables. Actually, we do not need to add more tables. We can use these two tables to define one-to-many relationships, this product and this category. Okay, so for that, what we are gonna do, we are gonna just add here one property which is I collection and product, because one category can have multiple products. So right here, products, and inside product table we already have added this category ID, and it will be our foreign key. We are gonna add here public category get set. Okay, now let's add migration command. Yeah, let's run this migration command, which will be now add migration mig8. So let's see what happens to the database. Build succeeded, and yeah, let's update it quickly. Update database, and we will check it into our database. Till now we do not have any relationship between these two tables. We can check it here, and right now here in product table we have these two columns, and in the product table we have these columns, and now I guess changes have reflected. Yeah, changes have reflected because we have run that update database command, and that was a successful. So here we have successfully defined one-to-many relationship between category and product. Now we will define many-to-many relationship between our tables. Okay, for that we are gonna definitely add some more tables, and we already have a genre class. So here I'm just gonna delete this and uncomment this one. So I'll remove #1. Okay, now add one more table which will be book, and a book can have multiple genres. So here we can define many-to-many relationship easily because it is qualified for that. Book, yeah, and remember a book can have multiple genres. So let's add ID here, a string title, okay, and right here public I collection genre, and it's not genre, it's books. We will define genre here. Okay, and let's try to run migration command, see what happens. So it will be the 9th one. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay, I have done that terrible mistake again. I haven't added a DbSet property for that. So here we will add genre, yeah, fine, and we are gonna add, what was the second one, book. Okay, book, right here, book. So let's run it again. Okay, it is already used, so we are gonna add mig10. Okay, let's see what it is saying. It is saying I'm gonna create a book table, genre table, and one more table. It is the main thing to notice. It will automatically going to add this book genre table, which have books ID and genres ID, and it is a conjunction table between book and genre. Okay, so we will just update it into database. For that, what we will do, we will write update database command. Okay, and we will wait and watch. Yeah, now let's refresh this database, and here we can see we have added this book genre and genre table. So that was our many-to-many relationship between book and genre entity. So let's close it for now, and we will move to the category controller. Now let's try to fetch records from multiple tables. For that, we are going to enter some entries in this table. So let's see which table we should choose. Okay, let's choose this table category and this table product, because they are simple, one-to-many relationship between them. Okay, now we have these multiple categories. Now we are gonna add some products. So let's see inside this 7th category. So let's add product for the category number 7. So our category ID will be 7, cost will be 200, and product will be running shoes. Let's add another product, jogging shoes, 300, and yeah, 7. Let's add loafer, 400, and category ID will be 7. Okay, and let's change it to shirt. So we will add some products against 10th category, and let's see. Let's name it shirt 1, shirt 2, shirt 3. Why would we waste time on naming? Shirt 2, 150, 10, and so on. Now let's try to fetch records from these two tables, and in SQL Server, basically what we do, we write this query, select asterisk from category join product, or just C on C dot ID equals to P dot category ID. So that's what we do it in SQL Server. Now we will implement it with our entity framework, and for that we are gonna use link queries. So we will write some link queries for that. And let's see, public product, no, public I action result get products, so where products equals to from p in ctx dot products join c in ctx dot category on p dot category id equals c dot category, no, c dot id, and we will store it inside an object. So here we will write select new and okay. So let's see, we are gonna define it here. So select new product and we will define another property inside this product. So here go to definition and here we will write prop string name, not name, it is a category name, and this category is not going to save in database, so we will write not mapped for that. Okay, so right here id equals to p dot id, name product name equals to p dot product name, category id equals to p dot category id, and cost equals to p dot cost, category name equals to c dot name, and right here to list and return JSON products. So let's check it in browser. Let's see. So right here category slash get products get product. Okay, and it is category, sorry, result of products method, get products method. Let's check it in some JSON formatter. So let's see, JSON formatter.org. okay, let's try this, and here we're gonna paste it. So these are the data we had inserted into the product: running shoes, jogging shoes, loafer, shirt 2, and its category 1, and its shoes category, its category is shoes. So that's how we fetch data from multiple table in entity framework. Basically it is a replacement of join query of SQL server. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you find this video helpful, then please hit that like button. See you next time.